Hey guys, I'm Everlast, and if you don't know me, I'm Vi 1 trick. I used to be rank 1 Vi actually at a certain point. Now I'm trying really hard to get Grandmaster, but a few days ago I actually coached a Bronze Vi who's really trying to get better, and we got into some super crucial stuff about the early game, which I think is going to really help you out. It was so important, and if you don't feel like you have enough impact on Vi, I'm pretty sure it has to do with the early game because it's so important for Vi to get leads. From behind, it's very difficult to play, and from ahead, you're an unstoppable monster, and that early game is really gonna decide which is gonna be you, because Vi is actually very reliant on items, because so much of her stats is actually about bonus stats and bonus health from the passive, bonus scalings on QE. That's really where you have damage. You don't have damage in base damage. That's why it's so important to get items, to get resources, to get ahead in XP, to get your ultimate. And I think learning these jungle fundamentals is really going to transform the game, and it's going to help you out so much. I hope you're going to enjoy it. If you do, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And let's just dive right in.
Still tired of doing nothing, pretty boy? Let's get to work.
What do you think about the game plan here? Is it actually Ilaoi mid or mid no mid?
It ended up being a Lowy mid.
Yep.
And I pretty much said that's like, okay, I can see if I can gank top, but after she hits 6, I'm not gonna gank her. I thought she was gonna be top at first.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play for the bot lane in this instance.
Yep. I think that's correct. I got some great setup. Misfortune Pike is really good in the early game. Yeah, and like, even though you can get a kill like top lane, it doesn't really result into anything. Like, the Malphite is not going to be able to extend the lead. It's just a tank versus tank. Just let them do their thing, and they're going to be good in team fights anyways. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind this. Active in the early game. It's good.
So I've been always starting the top side of the jungle because what I like about it is a lot of people like to invade the bottom side of the jungle. So if I see the enemy jungler bot, then that gives me an opportunity to invade him.
Yep.
And I knew I could because I saw the Moondale right away. He wasn't standing watching or anything like that or warding. But I had it bite me in the ass a few games before where I just went and did it right away and it was warded, and then the Kane came and killed me.
Yeah, I see.
He moves across the map so fast.
Yeah. You gotta be a little bit careful with those. And also sometimes, even though it can be nice to like, problem is if they invade your side here, I prefer if you ward this if you're scared of them having like a good invade champion level 3. Because if you end up splitting the map here, you're stuck playing for a Malphite while he can play for the lane that you both want to play for, right?
Right.
That's a bit of a problem. But sometimes, even though you can get a nice invade, it's almost not even worth it because you're stuck playing on the wrong side of the map. So I don't mind this. Okay, what are we playing as again? I forgot.
Lee Sin.
We're playing as Lee Sin. So I'm not the biggest fan of this invade. Like, I think it's fine, but as we said, like, we're kind of ending up splitting the map against this guy. If you play it against a champion with which you want to disrupt their clear, it can be kind of nice to do this, but then I prefer you just like kite it down here and then you start your Q second. You can just Q over this wall and you can start hitting it really early. Then you can actually get the blue, get the grump before they're able to do the clear and meet up here. So they just notice it's missing. And you can just get out, do your raptors, and then path down bot. And then he actually has no camps left, right? And he's stuck on the top side against the Malphite. So that would be like super good. If that was the case.
I've been mixing it up between taking Q and taking E.
Yeah.
I figured the Lee Sin probably clears a little bit slower than I do, so I had enough time to take E and hopefully kill the blue buff faster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. You are a little bit healthier, but I still think that just the Q over, then also you avoid this ward, right? Just in case there is a ward here. You don't know, right? So then you can avoid that ward. Sometimes the plays like ward here on those invade champs or a ward here, so you can get around it, and then you can start hitting it right away. So you take a little bit more damage while leveling your Q, but it shouldn't matter. And so even though you will get it in time, maybe with E2, you're still gonna take the time. Time in the jungle is super valuable. So I don't mind this invade against those full clear champions if you're playing, for example, an Hecarim or a Mumu or this kind of champions, right? That likes to start on the bot side and loves to full clear. If you disrupt their clear, you're making it pretty difficult for them. They want to have all their camps in order, and they just want to full clear the first like 2-3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like this play against them. Against Lee Sin, not the biggest fan because as we say, you're making your bot side a little bit weak, which is the ones you want a strong side, and delaying yourself a little bit.
So this is where I was saying I was kind of not paying attention to the map like I'm looking, but I should have seen the Lee Sin here, and I'm like, I could have taken his wolves too.
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah, once you're in this position, then now just smite, right? So we don't sit on 2 smites. If you smite when it's like 3/4, that's pretty much when it's 15 seconds, then you don't get this overlap. So that's like the maximum efficient, pretty much like 3/4 around. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, this is the kind of thing, right? Because if we did our red, our Krugs here, and the Raptors, we could have been moving. If we just did like this, boom, we could have. If we saw the Lee Sin here on the board, he's kind of sitting on the board. As we were moving to wolves, we could have like changed our mind, and we could look here. We could just like play for this 3v3 because the 3v3 is much better here. Like Morgana Malzar is not great in an all-in. Like Misfortune Pike and you is gonna hard win this 3v3, right? Now, so even though we get a lead in like camps, that doesn't really matter because if he figures he went for the invade also, he could just like go and take your camps, and then it's the same problem. Your bot lane can't really play for the next minute, and you're not going to be able to kill the Mundo with the Malphite top. So this is kind of where we run into trouble. So always think about like what the invade will actually do. If you're playing as the Hecarim who loves to field clear, that could be great because we're disrupting it. But against more like active junglers like Jarvan, like Lee Sin, I would not do this often.
I don't think their jungler is very good. Like I saw him walking back into the bot side.
Yeah.
He didn't end up invading me. Probably
No,
because he thought he'd have
he
to go
probably
back
thought,
and do his full clear.
yeah, and he might end up facing you, right? And he doesn't really have that great pride to invade. So it makes sense because you could easily be like at wolves and blue, and that would actually be a really good scenario for you. But now you're kind of late on tempo, so now you will get there eventually, but it's kind of slow. And what's so a really important thing in the jungle too is that those second spawning camps are so important. So even though you get a lot of camps on your first clear, even though that's nice, it's mostly important to get level 4 and level up those camps for the second clear, because these second clear camps are going to give way more XP. So if we do a full clear now, for example, it's going to be very slow. We're not going to get a reset, and we're not going to be at the part of the map that we want to be for in that early minutes. Now it's already like 3, and it's going to close in on 4, and maybe even 5 minutes before we're able to play around the bot side we want to play for.
Okay.
So it's just a bit slow, and it's kind of distracting us from what's important in the game, and that's getting our bot lane ahead. And that camp that's going to spawn in 144, those are the kind of camps you want to play for. But now you're kind of leveling up his camp, so if you're not able to exploit his respawning camps here the next time, it's not a great like net positive for you, because even though he lost it the first clear, he's going to make up for that XP by having level 4 camp the next time.
Gotcha.
Okay. Paying his attention here though, that's awesome. Good.
I just charged it too early.
Yeah, I'm glad you saw it.
No, I said it too.
Oh, you said it too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's well played. Well played. I don't think this is a bad reaction.
It's waiting for Q to come up, and
yeah, that was
that's
great.
not happening.
That's good, but the thing is, you could have had such a big XP lead. That's how you can really exploit this these junglers in this elo, like so much. Because I don't quite see the time. It's 4, right? So
Yeah.
closing in 5 minutes, and we barely got level 4. That's kind of the problem. That here we're at 412, and we're still at level 3. So if you just take a normal full clear, you're gonna be level 4 at 3:15.
Yeah.
And you're also gonna be able to have leveled up all your camps, and you can be at this side. So you can probably in this game you could have easily probably full cleared into bot gank, or then done the 3 camp and contested the Lee Sin in that 3v3 bot lane. That would have been such a good play. And then we gotta be really careful about the respawning camps. That's gonna spawn at 420 the next time. If you did like a normal red buff into Krugs, this is gonna spawn at 415, 420. That's a really important in timer, because if you, let's say, this is just such an important concept. That's why I want to take it. So if it did normal, clear, boom, and we did a reaction play here, we're gonna spend maybe an extra 30 seconds on this play. That means we got to make up for that time somewhere, because we want to be able to go back to these camps when they're respawning. So let's say we just did a full clear, we would have been done at 3:20 maybe if we did a decent clear. That's okay, but now since we do this, let's say we got a good gank here bot, that probably takes 30 seconds. That means we can maybe fall back to the blue, the grump, and then you're gonna have to see how long the play took. Because if the timers is round 3:50 after you're done with the blue and the grump after this gank, then you actually just want to leave the scuttle crab, go back top, or you can, if you maybe have time, you can take the scuttle crab first, and then you reset, and then you just ignore your wolves. This is how you really get up in tempo, and you're gonna extend such XP leads over these enemy junglers. And especially on a champion like Vi, that's gonna be so key.
So what I'm gathering from it so far is it's good to ward that to see where they're starting, but generally on the first clear it doesn't make sense to invade unless you're getting invaded.
Yeah, pretty much. And sometimes if you do get invaded too, if let's say you ward this instead, I would lean more towards a defensive ward with Vi, because she's not that strong in the early game. If you did, for example, do this kind of a invade, if you did this too, and you have prio, you can actually just move over and go for the fight, ping your team to come. Instead of going the cross map. But that all depends if you want to take that fight or not. So in this case, I would say yes, because you got a stronger team to fight on this side of the map early game. But let's say it was a different kind of a game. Maybe they had a Nautilus, a Samira, and you guys are kind of stuck with a Soraka and a Smolder, let's say. And maybe you got a just neutral mid lane. Then I would like this play, because then it makes more sense, because then you want to avoid these fights, because you're probably going to lose it. But in games, you got an advantage in the 3v3, in the 4v4, in the 2v2 mid. Then you should look to contest, because Vi is actually doing pretty well into the Lee Sin in the 1v1, if you use passive well at least. So it's not that bad. That's kind of the thing. If you have winning, you play to contest. If you have losing, you play to cross map. It's kind of this is a general idea throughout the whole game, pretty much. So if you create the lead, for example, if you create a lead later and the enemy jungler wants to play Drake, for example, you're not going to let him. Then you're just going to do everything you can to contest this Drake. You're not going to trade grubs if you know you can win the fight. But if you're losing, that's great. Take the trade every time, because that means you minimize the loss, right, when you're behind. But I don't mind this reaction. You see that they're kind of overextending. They're low. So that's good. Nice Q as well. This was good. But now, as we can see, his camp is respawning at 16, right? But so we're not going to be able to play for this, but that's fine. But it kind of shows you that this wasn't very useful. Because
Yeah.
he hasn't even been on that side of the map, so you kind of just leveled up his camp. He's going to be able to take it for more XP next time he comes here. When he resets off this, he's going to go to his grump and path back down. It's actually going to be beneficial to him. So here, since it's spawning in 45, I would actually take the time to take the blue first. And then you can reset, because that's going to take like 15 to 20 seconds. You can reset. And then you're going to be able to be here at respawn. Does that make sense? But if this was spawning in 30 seconds, then I would just hit the reset. So you can instantly start and stay up the tempo. And then you can path that.
So what I was thinking here anyways is like I needed to back, like it's a little bit of a late back, but I got a kill of it.
Yeah.
Lee Sin has to back at the same time as me, so he's not going to be at the dragon at the like any earlier than I am.
Yeah.
So I figured get items. I could get the blues, check the lane state in the bot lane, and then go for dragon if it's if we're good.
I see. Okay, good that you said that. So the only thing I don't like about this, so what's so great about getting these top camps again is that it's nice to play for bot side, but unless we need to get there right away, I don't know the lane state like bot now. If it's good to go directly bot here, then go for it. If they're kind of frozen, they have a good lane state, this might look good actually. So that could be fine if you want to make a play for this bot crash. I don't mind that. If not, it's really useful. Let's say this is more neutral. I'd love you to go here, take this, because then you can play bot side for a long time. Because if you go straight here, and let's say no play happens, you're not able to get a useful gank. They're kind of neutral. They're not able to like get anything successful. Okay, then you fall back to your camps. The problem is that now you're pathing away from your bot lane again.
Right.
But if you took your top camps first, you get rid of these, then these can't be invaded. These are also worth most XP. And then you have this timing, you have this timing, you have this timing, and you have this timing. So you just have more opportunities to play for both sides. Does that make sense? Okay. So I like the idea. It makes a lot of sense, right? Your bot lane got a kill. So you feel like you can do Drake. But the thing is, Drake this early, it can be a little bit dangerous because it's such a big commitment, because it takes a lot of time, right? And it doesn't give you that much XP. And you also leave a lot of stuff on the map for the enemy jungler to take. Like, he's probably not going to be able to like make this kind of a play, right? And then take this. But he could in theory. So when you're starting to level up, you're taking these objectives this early can be good, but when you have so many camps up, it's actually not that great. Because the time you spend on this, that can be a couple of camps, that can be close to level 5, and then you can look for it. You're making yourself very vulnerable. Also, your bot lane, even though they got a kill, they're actually kind of low, right?
Yeah.
So they want to look for a reset. So let's say, and there's a very short respawn timer. So the enemy team has already respawned, so they're going to be on their way out. The other one is probably already here. So if your leasing comes here, for example, and start to bully you have to like kind of wait. You have to, and then you're gonna run into trouble, because then enemy bot lane is gonna come back. They're gonna come back with items, and they're gonna come full HP, and your bot lane wants to reset. So you're putting this in them in a tough position. If Lee Sin comes here, he sees you, or the enemy support sees you because their ADC died, for example. So this can be very risky in the early game. Especially when you have a lot of camps. If let's say you didn't have any camps, you took all your camps, you pretty much got nothing to do. Your bot lane wants to reset, your mid lane is kind of pushing, there's no ganks available, then I wouldn't mind this, because then you can just start it and go off it if they come to contest, because you're losing nothing. But here you're risking losing a lot, actually.
Right. Yes. So like I've had like a session, like I've had buddies like help me out. They're like diamond players.
Yeah.
And the way I was told to kind of look at it is like, okay, is there objectives? Can I do the objectives?
Yeah.
It goes like objectives, buffs, camps.
Yeah.
Objectives, buffs, camps.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of what I've been trying to do lately. And yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Like I saw the kills, I'm like, okay, perfect. I can go and start dragging, and I'll be right there, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
clean it up pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
they didn't end up doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it completely makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if they're low, then I'm like, okay, we're not gonna have the what was gonna say the damage at the fight. They could potentially die, and
Yeah.
it's a lot safer to do what you're saying. Is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Is what I mean.
exactly. So this Drake is not going anywhere, right? So this is like the higher elo. This is what I've been taught by the challenger coach and stuff that I've been in touch with, which he really transformed my game. That getting these camps, so this is not going away. And your camps, even though they're not going away either, they could, right? They could be invaded, first of all. And also, second of all, you're not leveling it up while while you're doing this. But like the Drake is not going to level up. It's not going to give you more XP in 2 minutes. That's going to be gone for 5, right? So your bot lane got a kill. Nice. They're going to push out this. So this could be very risky because Lee could be here, first of all. And second of all, if they're going to push this now and then reset 30 seconds. If you were here now, for example, took this, they're going to be starting to move down right now. Then you can go to Raptors. After you're done with this, they're going to probably be right here. And now their wave is starting to bounce. So they're going to be in lane while you're at Wolves, for example. This is how I apply my ganks. Now you're at Wolves. They're at the lane. Now the enemy wave is actually going to start pushing to your wave because they pushed in this wave. That's going to start pushing back. So after Wolves, that could be a great opportunity to get a gank. And then you're going to be almost levels. You're going to be at level 5.5. You're not going to have any camps that can be like taken away. You can get a successful gank, and then you can take the Drake after because then they have a reset. And they're probably not going to be low because you can go for that play while they come to lane. They have resources. So that could be a lot safer, and you're also getting a lot of extra, right? You're not giving any weaknesses on the enemy side of the map. You get the Drake, and you also get 3 camps for free, and get to level them up. That's going to be so big to getting level 6, right? Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you did like the video, consider subscribing and liking the video because I might release more of this coaching session. I think there was some other crucial points here. So let me know if you want to see more. If you want your own coaching, contact me through the Discord and we can set something up. Alright, get out of here. Bye.